Down. Hey, folks. Welcome Tuesday evening. In touch with the Miller Boyz +1 tonight.
Y'all gonna overdose tonight.
Oh yeah. We talked through the week's happenings and things that are going on. Decided
Overdose.
to I'm the co-host for the older brother there on the far end.
Oh.
Mr. Gerald Miller, who's always in the house.
Overdose.
Special guest is, everybody's been taking these pictures of them with their firstborn. I get to be on Facebook with my firstborn.
Oh yeah.
Tonight.
That was a tricky situation.
My son, my eldest son, Aaron Miller, is going to join us tonight. And so, as usual, we like to talk about all things impacting the African American community of the city of Fresno and the larger surrounding area. And we have some topics. Of course, we're going to be talking about some of the things that are happening. Can't get around Corona. Of course, that's up. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. Drill's got a long list of things over there.
No,
surprises.
he don't. No, he don't. Not tonight, he don't.
We're going to be going through. Well, you got some notes over there. Oh, okay, you're going to be taking notes. I'm sorry, you faked me out. Faked me out big time.
I'm fast, man.
But today is the last day of March. Anybody know what the significance of that is?
Yeah, tomorrow is April Fool's.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first day of Sarcoid Awareness Month.
The question was,
Yeah, we're talking about.
Today is the last day of March, not the first day of April. You guys don't know what the significance of today is?
I know today is
Last day of marching. So if the last day of marching,
Nipsey Hussle.
we're
Nipsey Hussle.
your feet hurts because you've been marching for 31 days.
What's that?
You've been marching for 31 days, so your feet hurt. So you got to soak them in vinegar and bleach.
Today.
I'm just checking. I don't know.
Come on, fellas. So Nipsey Hussle, I didn't not know that, but that makes sense now as to why I've been seeing all those headlines. So he was killed a year ago.
A year ago today. Today marks the first day.
I didn't know that. So this is not significant for
Not that I know.
anything else?
Not that I know.
No.
Come on, man, y'all.
March 31st.
March 31st. It's a state holiday. Cesar Chavez Day.
Oh,
okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all get the zero on that. So
Yeah,
today is
I'll take the zero
I don't even
on
know
that
what year. I don't know what birthday this is.
What? Okay. Hey.
Let me check
What is Cesar? This is.
Uh-oh.
You brought it up.
Yep.
What is Cesar Chavez noted for?
For his work with the unions, the farm labor workers here, not just here, but farm workers, labor unions mainly in California, Salinas Valley, those places. But that's what he's known for, civil rights, in particular in the with our Mexican American, Spanish speaking brothers and sisters, and actually even our Filipino.
Did he like short hose or long hose?
I don't know. I'm sure
he got rid of all short hose.
I'm sure he could handle his way with both of those.
No, serious. That's he didn't.
Okay,
want to
so
bend it over.
he was born March 31st, 1927, in Yuma, Arizona, and he died. You should remember this.
Wow, that's a good.
He died April 23rd, 1993.
That's a good date.
In San Luis, Arizona. Yeah, that's your birthday. So you're forever connected to Cesar Chavez
So look
and the
him
work
up.
that he
In a
does.
good way though.
Spell your name right. So, they can
So
look you
that's
up, do your taxes.
1927. Wow, that would be 90.
No, 90, 80, 70.
No, this is 20. He'd be 93 today. 27. This is 20. So 100 minus he'd be 90. This is his 93rd birthday. So I thought that was of significance. We needed to shout that out. And looking at his bio here, of course, they give a shout out to the co-founder with him, Dolores Huerta, who is one of our stalwarts here in the Valley, who is still alive with us. I believe she's 80 something.
Still raising Cain.
Still raising Cain. Got arrested earlier this year or late last year in 2019 with down at the county supervisors meeting, voicing, standing up for workers' rights down there with her. And so she's still fighting a good fight here in the Central Valley. She has a foundation that does a lot of good work, but that all stems out of the work that she did with Cesar Chavez. I remember, Joe, do you remember when they had the table grape boycott?
Nope.
So I vaguely remember this. I probably was about 7 or 8, something like that, maybe 73, 4, somewhere in there. I remember going to the store with Mama, and normally we get grapes in the summertime when it's good, the big fat green grapes, and she would not buy them. And I had no idea what that was all about until a lot later. But that was during the time when there were certain grapes, table grapes, that they were boycotting. And my mom, shout out to Bessie Miller, was supporting that effort. And one of my vague memories. So anyway, so that's March 31st. So April Fool's Day, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What's the significance with April?
Don't be fooled.
What's the significance of April, though?
We're going to all wake
just
up
told
and
you.
Trump going to be...
For me.
Yeah, our president made a declaration about April. I know it's your birthday.
I know.
You be an old man.
No, I ain't talking about my birthday.
You almost 40. But our president, 45, made a declaration about April when he was first talking about the pandemic that was going on. The coronavirus was first kind of taking over here in the United States. That with April, with the heat, the virus would dissipate and leave us.
Yeah, okay. Sound good.
It sounds like you don't believe him.
I don't.
Why not?
Because he said that back in January.
Right.
Here we are, 3 months later, and it's still a pandemic. It's worse.
Yeah, that New York is being hit tremendously right now. We talked about that a little bit last week. Some of the things that's going on in New York now is that it's spread over into New Jersey, Rhode Island. It's starting. I guess their numbers are picking up.
I hear it's pretty bad in Michigan too.
I haven't heard that.
I heard
Michigan.
Michigan's picking up too. So,
okay. So here's a question. Actually, since you are a former Navyman, sailor, whatever, what's the official title they call you? Seaman.
Yeah. Me, a petty officer.
I ain't talking about your rank. I'm talking what they call you. So talk to us, if you know. Tell us about this ship that it's a medical ship. I guess it's like a medical floating hospital.
The Mercy.
They put into.
I have
the Mercy
information
is
on
here,
it.
and the other one is on the other coast.
Yeah, so the Mercy is a West Coast medical ship. It's
where is it docked somewhere now?
Yeah, it's in L.A.
Is it in L.A.?
Okay, I didn't know that. But I know the one that's in New York.
When I was in San Diego, it was down in San Diego as well. But it's pretty much a West Coast medical ship because they have one on each coast. And that's his main priority, just all medical duties.
So one thing, so it's just a regular floating hospital?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so what they're saying is, it's a Comfort is the one that's in New York.
Yes.
Okay, and what they're saying is that they're going to use that ship. I don't know how many, maybe I can find it pretty quickly, but they're going to use that ship for, as a non-corona hospital. So if you have...
It's 1,000 beds.
Pancreatic, your pancreas goes out, or your appendix bursts, or
So pre-history, pre-conditions.
No, not necessarily, but anything that's non-corona, they're not going to send any corona patients there. They're going to use that for as like normal emergency, normal types of routine types of things. And so it's going to be interesting to see.
And they're doing that on both coasts?
Yeah, I guess that's the plan because LA, they're saying that LA's numbers are picking up also. That's one of the other things I want to talk about with people since we're here on the West Coast. But they had to dredge out. I guess the water where they're docked at was not deep enough, so they had to go in there and dig out a big old, so it's deeper, so the actual boat could get into port. It was a big old.
Yeah, the Mercy it's not a normal size ship. It's bigger than people would expect it to be.
Somebody said it's an old oil tanker. Is I think what they said is a converted oil tanker.
Probably, and they remodel most of the ships like that anyway. But yeah, it's a lot bigger than what you would expect.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there. And they said it was supposed to take up to 14 days was the estimate. They got it in there in 8 days. So they were all. This was, I think it was. Yeah, it might have been. It had to have been yesterday that they got that boat in there, that ship in there, and they were all happy about how they were going to use it. But the numbers are still shooting through the roof on that side. But Michigan, what about Michigan? Is it Detroit or is it just Michigan in general?
I think it's Michigan in general from what I heard. I think I was watching the news yesterday and the 45 was talking about how the governor of Michigan was doing a good job with this spreading. I guess he's trying to get stuff under control in a timely manner. And I just know it was a brief snippet of what I saw.
They're up to 7,600 cases. I'm sorry, 70 cases now at coronavirus, or 7,600, up 1,100 cases and 75 deaths in one day.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it's taking off there. I know that Los Angeles' numbers are picking up also.
Louisiana is very, very.
That's another hotbed for it.
And Florida.
Competitive with the deaths.
Yeah,
and sickness.
So yeah, like I said, I don't believe it one bit. I mean,
You don't believe what?
This whole, what you said, he got a timeline and from April.
April?
Yeah, no, there's no way. You would hope, but yeah, I just need for people to. I would expect people to get comfort from the president that everything's gonna be okay, and I ain't getting that either. So.
Oh wow, I didn't realize this. So this is the new number. So we got 188,000 confirmed cases. 7,000 have recovered, and there's been 3,800 deaths, almost 3,900 deaths, 3,896 deaths.
Alone in the U.S.?
In the U.S. This is all U.S. numbers. And this number actually surpasses now the number of deaths with the Twin Tower bombings, the 9/11. So New York has 75, almost 76,000 confirmed cases. They've had 1,500 deaths. New Jersey is second with 18,000, almost 19,000 confirmations, 267 deaths. Michigan is at 76 confirmed cases, 259 deaths, and California is at 74, almost 7,500 confirmed cases, 60 have recovered, whatever that means, and only 149 deaths. So I do know that California, the kid that died, the first death that was under the age of 18 was in, what do you call it, where your mom lives?
Oh, in Lancaster?
In Lancaster. And they were saying that...
what was it? Did he have issues prior to, or? I
didn't hear that part. I just know that he was the first person under the age of 18 who passed away.
In the state of California?
Yeah. Of all of them.
Oh, everybody?
Yeah, of all of them. Yeah, of everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody. I don't think there's any states in here that's saying they don't have any cases.
So everybody has at least one?
Somewhere like that.
North Dakota's got 122 confirmed cases. They've had 3 deaths.
Well, before we came, the TV was on. It was on the news, and the question was because Trump says that we're doing and testing more than any other country, which is a bald-faced lie, because Italy, Spain, and one other place has tested more. I think it's
they've tested a higher percentage.
South Korea.
South Korea.
Mm-hmm. And have tested more people, not a percentage, more people. And so the thing is you don't have to lie about it. Just test more people.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we were here. They didn't even have test kits.
Right.
You know, so how do you? So let's don't argue about it. Let's just get it done. You know.
But one of the things he was saying today that was an absolute bald-faced lie is that couple things. He, as in our president, he was using South Korea, and he was saying Seoul. There was a reporter that was going back and forth with him, and he was saying that he knows Seoul, and Seoul is 34
Trump
million.
Ain't got no soul.
34 million people, and you go back and find it, and it's only 9 million people that's in the metropolitan area of Seoul. And so he's talking about the comparisons in numbers of testing. Seoul is only 55 million people. We're 320 million people. So we're not even in the same. So if we test 1,000,001 people and they test 1,000,000 people, we've got one more test. But we've got percentage-wise is way out of whack.
Yeah, that's an argument I always.
And so those are his prime time. Oh, here's the world numbers. So we're leading in the world now. There's 857,000 confirmed cases. 178,000 have recovered. There's 42,000 deaths. We're number one at 188,000 confirmations, 7,000 deaths. 3,800 deaths, 7,000 people have recovered. Italy only had and they were talking about Italy, Spain. They only had 105, almost 106,000 people confirmed cases, and Spain had 95,000. So we're double that of Spain. He's talking about China. China only had 81,000 confirmed cases. South Korea is not even on here. So there it is. South Korea only had they're under 10,000 confirmed cases. So yeah, it's all a vernacular game. It's a matter of battle of words.
It's a hoax.
No, that's not. Well, yeah, that's another. That's a fish of another color. What's up, Uncle Greg? I see you on there. If you got a question, he says this is from our other Miller boy, who actually is a Sears. Says that the Bay Area just got shut down until May 1st. So I guess London Breed and the other mayors that are there in that area have shut down the Bay Area. And they're actually, there's been some people who've been arrested for having barbecues and other types of birthday gatherings, that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Some dude in Oakland, I think it was Oakland, had a party going on. The police came, broke the party up. It's not like it got done. They broke the party up early, like at 7:30. Well, he called people, told them to come back. So when the police came back the second time, they hauled him in.
How do you feel about that?
I think it needs to happen. I don't think we don't need to be a martial law, but I do think that those types of gatherings, like the other day, I was driving past a park and kids out there playing basketball.
Oh, by the way, the Fresno closed off parks today. I saw that in the 5 o'clock news.
Mm. So, but what is that? They already closed the parking lot, so that means people can't be in them at all?
Correct. Can't close the parks. No more public parks until this is passed.
Okay. So the first time that they had put in their closure deals, it was that they were just closing the parking lot, so you couldn't park and gather in the parking lots. You still had access to their facilities, but I guess that has changed. The thing about it is, I go walking every day or ride my bike every day. I see lots of people out, but not in gatherings or clusters. I had to go by Home Depot today. There was a ton of people at Home Depot, but Home Depot is a big building. But
had to wait in line.
Yeah, but it wasn't long.
Okay.
And then people got the blue tape down.
So you don't have a problem with them telling people that they can't congregate?
No, I don't.
Okay.
At your house, I have an issue with that.
I don't. I don't think we here in Fresno in particular understand the magnitude of what's going on with that virus.
I
do.
I understand that Gerald Miller does, and Aaron Miller does, and Darren Miller does, but us as a Fresno community,
as the dumb folks out there walking around.
Well, I mean, there's more of them out there than
So why do you not believe that they understand? What's the?
just in my travels over the last few days or so, I've got to go get things for mom and pop. You know, mama was stressing out about toilet paper, of course, or the hoarder that she is. So going around, this was 2 weeks ago, going around trying to get her bottled water and toilet paper and just kind of watching what's going on. It's I just don't believe that people understand the magnitude of it.
No, they don't.
And so
I can agree with that.
Fortunately, I'm happy that we have not had a whole bunch of cases. I think there's only been 2 deaths in Fresno County. If I'm not mistaken, I think the worst county for deaths right now is Tulare County.
Yeah, Tulare.
Madera County had the first confirmed case. Although I don't think that guy died.
No.
The one who came back off of a trip, he was on I think he was on a cruise ship or something like that. And came back. So I just I'm happy that they closed the schools down. And that's another question I got for you guys. I'm gonna ask another question in a second. But I'm glad they got the schools down. I'm happy that colleges, are online.
Do you think that you would be able to get the virus and not make it to the other side?
What do you mean?
Die. Do you think that you would get the virus and die?
I don't. I think that my body is healthy enough. He though,
I do.
because he's compromised with his illness. I'm not sure that he would, and because it's a respiratory illness, I'm not sure he would be able to get through it. And think about this: if I got it and I'm able to battle it off, and I give it to him or I give it to mom, then it's those types of trigger factors that you have to deal with.
Okay.
And sometimes fear is good, and I don't think we have a healthy dose of fear.
I don't know about fear being good. I've had
so here's somebody. What's up?
Walk through life.
What's up, Nesbitt? Says SoCal is getting hit hard right now. Says Long Beach has the most cases down there in the inner city, down in Southern California. No, yeah, Greg Nesbitt. Yeah, so
all right, that's 2 Gregs. They're leading the tally with the questions, 2-0. And we have
so everybody, people are saying everything is getting extended. Bobby, Bluetooth was talking the other day that here in the metropolitan area of Fresno County and Madera County, all employers have a series of 6 or 7 questions they have to ask all of their employees when they come in. If they got a fever, have they been around anybody with a known case, all those type of things, and that's mandated. And that's his frustrations was, how does that information get out?
Here's I understand that. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think mom has already had it?
You know what? That is an excellent question.
Because she was already treated for pneumonia, and that's what they were treating people early for because they had no idea what it was. They said it's.
When did we take her to the? When was that she went to the hospital?
Before the new year?
No. She just went not long ago.
With
her and Doris. You're talking about originally?
Yeah, I mean it's this whole time. Because they've one report that I've heard was that it's been around since 2009, but no one knew what it was, so it has been mistreated and misdiagnosed, and they have treated people as if it were pneumonia. So if people have died in the last recent here of pneummonia, they might. I mean, there's no way. Everybody's not going to be dead.
That's something to think about.
I don't know.
Has she been tested?
Not that I know of.
No.
I'll suggest that. I gotta go see her tomorrow.
I asked her if she had been tested, and of course,
what did she say?
She cussed me out.
My mama don't cuss.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah.
That's a good question because she still has not been officially diagnosed with anything, but she's lost 50% capacity of her.
She believes that she's been diagnosed with a respiratory something that is attacking her
immune system.
Immune system.
So autoimmune disease.
Yeah. Which could be anything.
Anything, yeah. That's
been labeled. Or she says that the sarcoidosis has been
ruled out. Valley fever ruled out.
But the thing with sarcoid though is that's like the last ditch effort when they even tested everything. So
you might have had it too.
Possibly, I don't know.
You might have brought it to the States.
Possibly. Hey, who knows? I got when I get out in 2017.
What's that little monkey called? The outbreak.
It's possible.
Patient zero.
Okay, so I get it. I'm just, these are the things that rattle around in my head. I don't know everything, but I try to know a little bit about it.
So here's a question I asked your uncle last week. Let me get your version of it since you are a millennial and you're not with us.
Oh.
How has this pandemic changed your life now and in the future? What are some things that you're doing now that you have to change? And what are some things now that you're doing that you will not be able ever to do again or won't do?
Oh, ever again. I know. Well, right now, speaking to like today, so I started back to school in January, and that's a no-go. And I was excited, and eager to get back into school. And I got back into school, and now I can't go to class. So now everything that we're doing is online.
But that's class.
But for me as a learner, I need to sit down in front of my instructor, see my instructor, and be physically present to be able to talk to my instructor and get feedback. I don't have that anymore. Everything we're doing now is all computer-based, and you trying to have dialogue with 5 or 6 different people, and it's frustrating. So we'll see how this works out. I know my school just sent out a memo that we're not going back until May.
To have actual class.
To have actual class.
I would, if I were you, as well as all the other educated kids that are in school in California, I would plan on not going back until August when school starts back.
Well, the good thing with me, so I only go to school once a week. Mm-hmm. So it's in class once a week. But that once a week is something major because you go sit down in front of your instructor if you need feedback or something like that. I'm not really this whole savvy computer person to go online and send a bunch of emails and go back and forth with dialogue. So it's something I got to get used to, something that's going to change. It has changed. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. Education.
Michael said hi, you guys.
What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Mike?
So like him. Yeah, here's a perfect example. I won't get on him yet, but education is going to change for quite a while. One of the things that happened that kind of surprised me with education is colleges, junior colleges, community colleges, universities were able to convert from classroom settings to online pretty rapidly. I was surprised. They were able to get that stuff turned around 2 or 3 weeks. There's a bunch of kinks and stuff, but at least for the most part, they're able to do distance learning now on a regular basis.
Right.
Now, how that's going to come up.
Well, they've been doing online, or is it online education for quite a while.
Yeah, but
where you don't have to be present. So I think that they have already had a system loosely in place.
But a lot of professors, old school professors, were not using it.
True.
And so now they got forced to do it, and so they gave them all the training and everything. So everybody's been making that conversion to the instructional part. So now what happens with the assessment part? How do you get grades? So if you're in a PE class, how do you give somebody a grade for doing online physical education, online PE? So there's some kinks and bubbles that have to work out. K-12 is not set up to do that. They have, around here, what happened was teachers were brought back to do packets, like independent study type packets. They were doing that in class sets to give the kids. I think at least in Madera, the instruction was for 3 weeks. They were not to come back. They would give them homework through April, whatever that is, 11th, whatever that Tuesday is after
13th or something like that.
Whatever it is, 12th or 13th after Easter. They were to give them 3 weeks of work, taking out the week for spring break. That's what the target. And now they're going to extend it into May. What's going to happen with that? I can tell you what they did with independent study. It was basically a contract. Here is what your homework is for your math class and that kind of stuff. The way you get a grade for it is you turn it in, and then your teacher's supposed to take it back, grade the work, and then put that onto that contract, and then that's what's fed into the system. Well, if you got to do that for 30 kids, teachers not going to want to do that.
No.
That's a situation where that's now your job.
I got you, but I'm talking 30 kids. That's elementary. That's K-6. When you start getting into 7-12, you're talking about 120,
a lot more.
160 kids that you got to go back in there and grade all that material. So they're going to have to make some adjustments.
That might be the reason why you ain't going back to school this year.
Could be.
Wait till September.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just interesting. Michael's case, Gerald's oldest son just is going to be graduating from Southern Oregon University, and they just canceled their graduation ceremony.
Oh, wow.
And so, Fresno State, Fresno City, Fresno Pacific, they all canceled all of the CSUs and all the UCs canceled all their graduations quite a while ago. I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, but the deal with Michael is I think that it's because they're on quarters. And so they start Bundy, and they're going to go through the semester, so they'll be done in June.
Right.
And so I don't particularly agree with that, not because because he's my child, but if May, it will be a lot closer if you're on semesters than June, when this should be. I'm not going to say settled and done, but closer to being over through. Somebody told me that on June 20th, I have a lot of friends, that something was going to happen on June 20th. I don't know if it was.
That's the first day of summer, ain't it? Or
I don't know.
June. Is it either June 20th or June 21st is the first day of summer? So maybe there's something going on with that.
Yeah. So
I don't know. When you say something, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. He just told me that, and I just kind of waved and winked and kept it moving, brother.
Did you see Kevin Lyles?
I'm not equipped with that. What did he say?
He said, "You the king of the conspiracy."
That's you damn right. I'm waiting for the Martians to fall out the skies. You tell me why gun stores is not in LA. You see that where the gun stores are not essential, so they closed them, and then they had a backlash, and now they're opening them back up.
I didn't know that, but I knew that was one of the excessive buying things was going on, buying of guns. And ammunition in particular.
Maybe they're waiting for Obama to come back and take their guns. All they got to do is run into them coal mines. No, they open because Trump opened up some coal mines. All the people voted for him, though.
Hey, have y'all checked out gas? Y'all bought gas lately?
No, I ain't bought gas in 2 weeks.
Oh, Taco Bell, though.
Man. Huh?
I went to Taco Bell, though.
Gas is incredible right now.
Where's that? Under 250?
Oh, yeah. I paid $2.39 the other day for premium.
Wait, what?
Yeah, $2.39.
Cash, Shell in the river, Shell 99 in the river is $2.15 for cash price.
Yeah, it's and somebody had it. I don't remember what state it was.
Put my check in the mail, Shell.
It was $129 and $139 for premium, and $99 for.
That was because
back to 2000.
Russia and in Saudi Arabia were having a war over there about gas prices. Mm-hmm. So
Trump and Putin supposed to be meeting on that. By the way, they're gonna fix it.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be $7.
Best friends.
It's gonna be $7 a gallon when they get done.
Kushner over there, he solved everything.
So Aaron, what brought you out to join us tonight?
I don't know. I just I've been watching y'all the last few weeks, so I figured, hey, with all this stuff going on, and let me get off my couch and come hang out with my
open door.
With my pops and my uncle, and
everybody got to bring something. You can't be what do you call them? Useless eater.
Hey man,
you can't be a useless eater, man. Everybody got to bring something to the table.
Hey, Hoods in the Woods. I brought my cup with me. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking
Holla, yeah, I got my Hoods in the Woods boys.
What's across your chest
on there.
Oh man, the lucky star.
He got a rash on right there. He got a rash burning on his chest.
What's across your chest?
A boy, A.
I don't understand that.
My Greek letters.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So there's something else that's going to change also.
What?
With the fraternity.
What?
So we have 5 regions, and only 2 of the regions were able to have regional conventions, and that's our major fundraiser for the year. The West wasn't able to have their convention this past weekend. The Southwest, I believe it was, got theirs canceled. And the Midwest has gotten theirs canceled. The East is supposed to be next week. They're going to Bermuda, though, and I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't know if they can get out.
They can get
back in.
Yeah, right.
And then the South, who had theirs I believe it was in Alabama. I think they were in Alabama, was the week before everything started going haywire, 2 weeks before everything started going haywire. So they got their convention in. This summer, we're supposed to be, no, that's 2 summers from now. But it's going to be interesting to see, like the West, I know we're going to be struggling because our annual budget for how we operate and do everything we need to get done is based off of our income from our convention.
This is
And
the
we're
great
not-
reset of 2020.
Yeah, so
Beep.
it's interesting. So, but okay, yeah, we got 219 and 41 in Madera. Kern County. That's too bad, Kern County. And you guys are where they produce pumping oil out the ground down there. I guess y'all must be doing some kind of lubricant rather than gas and oil down there.
Okay.
At 330. But okay, so Joe, what's going on with you?
What's going on with me? You caught me. You caught me. Oh, nothing. I'm just enjoying life, man. Woke up yesterday, my knee was hurting, so I guess I'm over 35 still. I'm just, enjoying my time.
What's your daily routine now that you off?
I can't tell you that, man.
Give
Shooting
us-
at squirrels.
Shooting a squirrel?
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
You making squirrel soup or something?
No, we don't eat squirrel soup. That's how they got that stuff coming out there.
I know you live in the farm, partial farm life out there
Give it away.
with the land and those type of things.
Stop shooting
No
pellets and
walking,
start
no
shooting.
riding, nothing.
No, well, as everybody saw, had to do a lot of yard work, doing cleanup. We cut grass, quite a bit of grass. I run the lawnmower every day. Man, I'm relaxing. I'm chilling.
I've been working so much.
Doing what?
Working.
Working, just doing stuff.
Oh.
So I've been riding my bike, either ride my bike or walk at least 2 miles a day.
Okay.
And one of my boys, Paul Perry, he got this push-up challenge. So every day is 5 or 6 of us.
Do 5 or 6 push-ups.
No, we do 100 push-ups. 100 push-ups a day.
I ain't
Got
mad.
So
any
I've been working out and stuff, and my doctor put me on some blood pressure medication about 2 months ago because all the stuff was going to work. So I've been taking 2 blood pressure pills again, and so last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, every time I sit down and get up, dude, it felt like I was gonna pass out, head spinning, that kind of stuff. I'm like, what's going on with me? Take my blood pressure, it's all over the place. It's not high, but it's just all over, crazy readings and stuff. So I stopped taking my blood pressure medication the last 3 days. No headaches today. No. So I think that I'm gonna work myself back to normal, where these blood pressure medicines give me
better keep
low
taking that
blood
blood
pressure.
pressure
And I can't get to my doctor. I call my doctor, and it just either just rings, or
He got that stuff.
it picks up and it
Yeah.
says that all operators are now busy, call back later. So I can't get in and see my doctor. But it's
So yeah, I ran out of my medication. If you guys don't know, I have a pituitary issue, a tumor, and I ran out of my medication, and I was off of it for a little bit, and I just started that back. So for the past couple of days, I haven't been feeling like doing anything. I get up.
So you're back on your medication now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yes, I think it's from stress, so we can't prove that. But yeah, that's all, man. I love my kids and take it easy.
That's a good thing.
What you doing?
Same thing, man. It's daily routine. Wake up, do homework with the kids, and find something to do outside.
What kind of homework y'all doing?
Me or my kids?
With the kids.
They got
You
packets.
oh, they got it from school?
They got packets from school, so.
Because that was one of the other things that people have been emailing me about is what to do with kids during this where they're locked in.
Yeah, so.
And so there's all kind of online resources. I should have brought that
Oh, we
information.
did. Did you see our video Mia made us do?
It was all 4 you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't see
That was cute.
It's on Facebook. Go to my
It was
page.
something that you got from our school?
No. This is
So Khan Academy, those are kids that are in high school. Khan Academy, KAHN, is a good place to go. There's lots of different things on there. I'll look and see, because somebody has sent me,
Yeah, I know that my son, he's in Sanger Unified, they sent home packets, and his teacher, he's in kindergarten, they sent him an online link as well to do some online learning as well. Because I know in the classroom they do a lot of online
do you know what the
stuff
link
as well.
is? Yeah, because I know that there's other links. I should have came in prepared to be able to share that information out there. But there's a lot of
Oh, you
things.
have next week. It ain't
Lalio?
gonna be over by next week. You
Yeah.
can-
Lalio,
What is it?
LALILO.
LALILO.
Yeah, so
LALILO.
the teacher
at home.
sends him
Okay.
like a code or whatever, and it goes directly to his kindergarten instruction type stuff, and he just goes through like 3 lessons a day, And that's one way he can do it. And he also got a couple packets that he does, and he has to do reading every day.
So I've noticed also that, so I know the superintendent, Nelson with Fresno Unified was doing story time on Facebook, where he was reading a book actually, and people could they can get their kids into Facebook and be able to watch and read a book. I do know that there's all kind of creative ways that people are doing instruction. There's Google Class, Google Hangouts. Teachers are using all kind of different ways to stay in contact with their kids. The thing about it is how are you going to assess that? What kind of value are you going to be able to give that to? That's what our educational system is. Mm-hmm. It's all a matter of validating.
Let me ask y'all this question, because it was an interesting question that came up. Because, and it's in the same vein, you said that they have to give, you didn't say they have to, but they give value to everything that we do. So how important is winning and losing in our current, before we got on this lockdown or this new reset of 2020, how big was winning and losing, and how do we define if you were winning or losing?
You talking about just in education?
I'm talking about in life in general.
Okay, yeah, it's capitalism. Capitalism, there's winners and losers.
Okay.
You can't have, capitalism is, you always have people on top and on the bottom.
You have to, in a capitalistic society.
So when you take that type of mindset and you start adding it into all types of aspects of life, in particular in education, No Child Left Behind was all built off of, the basis of it was capitalism. You got the kids who are taking these high-stake tests that, the levels of the scores and all those type of things.
How important is that to you?
It's not. That's not a true indicator of learning.
True.
Being able to do well on the test is not a true indicator. I remember in high school, dude, I busted my butt in academics and education on that side of it. And some of the dudes who I was hanging out with in high school, when you start taking those SAT tests and ACTs and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, I got to do this, got to go to college. I get my score back, average, 800, 900. Some of my buddies who was partying 4 or 5 days a week was scoring 1,200, 1,100 on that test. But they had barely passed and barely getting through their grade, through their regular coursework. So I started taking a look, and of course when I got an education, those types of standardized testing, minority students of ethnic groups do not score high on them. Do you remember no, I'm not going to be able to recall the name of it, but there was like a counter test that was given back in the 80s where if you ask a kid, in particular African-American kid, what Mother's Day was, how they defined it. When is Mother's Day?
Second weekend or second Sunday of May.
Okay. 1st and 15th.
1st and 15th.
Each month.
That's when the paycheck comes every month. So a lot of kids would define Mother's Day as the 1st and 15th of every month. There were situations like, trying to think of another one that was in there.
So it was biased away from minorities.
Correct.
Right. So the question then is, in this reset of 2020, do you look for that to wane, to leave? Or do you?
It already has.
Or do you think that it's still going to be a situation when we go back to school or go back to what is our normal, where people are going to be out for themselves and then that winning capitalistic attitude again? Do you think it's going to go back to that?
You're never going to get away from that.
If the majority of people shun that behavior, then yeah, we'll get away from it.
Yeah. And yes, in education it is that shunning and getting away from that mindset that these high test scores is all the kids need to have to be successful. We're going away from that. So now they've got the CTC or not CTC, CTE, Career Technical Education strand, which was what we called the shop classes. Mm-hmm. Remember how they used to divert us? Either you were academic based or you were in I don't know, IT industrial strand or whatever, and they didn't join each other. So now what they've done with the career technical education component is they've combined them.
Did you have a shop class?
I did into high school.
Oh, okay. So you was on the other side. I had a shop class.
Yeah, I did into high school, and I love those classes. I was what was I telling you?
We were just talking about that the other day.
My 8th grade project is still in use at my mama's house. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 40 years ago. I made a bread box. Still, I made in the 7th grade, I made a chessboard that still is operational. So, yeah, I understand it. And I'm glad now that with the career technical education, CTE, that your whatever job that you want to have, a police officer, you get on the job training types of things in your coursework but your English and math, science, and all those type of things are also taught with inside of that stream. So it's not a separation, it's an integration. It's not based off of test scores. It's not based off of kids who are testing very high goes into the academic strand. Those who don't test very high go into the industrial arts strand. And so, yeah, so to answer your question, that's already been taking place. The new the system to replace No Child Left Behind, where it's not about the answer, it's about the process of how you got to the answer, making critical thinkers. Because we had 20 years in there with No Child Left Behind, where we weren't teaching kids how to think. All we wanted was the answer. You know, what's the answer is 4, and we're telling you that you need to do 2 plus 2 is the only way you get to 4. Kid can tell you, well, it's 5 minus 1 equals 4. Oh, no, that's the wrong answer. We want
Is
you to
that
use,
why I have so much issues with these folks walking around here with these dumbass questions? Maybe
could be. I could be. I mean, so it's always, and thank God for me as a learner. I don't want to know about the process. I know how to get to it. What is the answer you want to get to?
Right.
Tell me what the answer is, and I can give you ways to be able to get to that. Whereas that's not. They wanted to tell you the way to get to the right answer. That was what No Child Left Behind. And so, yeah, to answer your question, in education at least, we've gotten away from the capitalistic mindset of winners and losers. There's still going to be kids who don't perform, and there's going to be kids who overperform. But I think that high stakes testing and that this is the only game in town mentality has gone out of K-12 education. You know, you got kids who are gate kids, or I keep using the term gate kids, but kids who are passing these AP classes and stuff in high school and get into college and can't function. So here's the other difference also with breakdown in our K-16 system. In K-12, the curriculum is given to the teachers. So what it is just to teach is given to the teachers by the state. Okay. In college, they have academic freedoms. The college instructors have academic freedoms. So we may be all 3 algebra teachers, but I may be using process A to teach algebra, you may be doing B, you may be doing C. And there's nothing that the universities or community college administrators can do about the way that you're teaching, as long as you stay within inside of your content area. And I think that's a big disconnect also when the kids get into colleges, is they're used to, you know, U.S. history in 11th grade is from this time period to that time period. And the 8th grade is this period to this period. And in college, it's not like that at all. It's a big difference, different expectations. And it'd be nice for some of the college expectations, curricular expectations, to be bled down into the K-12 system so that our kids are more successful making that transition out of high school.
Why hasn't that happened, though?
It's the system and the structure that we have.
People don't want to change
the education codes. Yeah, I mean, it's...
people don't want to change it. You got to change the structure through laws. And if I put something in place, I don't want to see someone come through or come by and change it. You know, it's an ego tripping. I believe that's
it is
my thing.
It is big time, big time ego tripping.
So I put that into place in 19. You know,
just to keep it going.
That's why God sent Corona to clean all that out. Great reset of 2020.
Did you say that?
What's that?
Did you say that the other day when we was walking?
What?
That people can't get along, so he sprinkled a little Corona on it.
You go on, you get on.
Well, I'm telling you, politically, that's one of the things that this virus has done, is that we're now turning purple in our mindsets. This big stimulus bill, for it to pass the way
we got.
So let's not. Okay, I'm not talking about the stimulus. It's not what they did, but how they did it. When was the last time something that major, both sides agreed on it?
Why do you think both sides agreed on it?
Because it's the right thing to do. Because it wasn't based off of.
If you make over, I'm not going to get into your personal, but if you make over $75,000, you ain't getting a.
It's actually $99,000. This is $75,000 adjusted gross. So if you make under $99,000, you're going to get a check. So yeah, there's going to be some of us who are going to be cut out of it. But does that mean because I, Darren Miller, don't get a check that it was the wrong thing to do?
Why are you making that face?
I mean, I'm just asking. That's a question. That's kind of the premise that you're going. If I happen to make...
Well, that's not the premise that I'm going.
Okay.
And not that, I mean, if it's clear cut across the board, why should this, back to your capitalism, why should the poorest of the United States get a check and the richest of the United States get bailout money? See,
I can tell you that the reason why the people who are at the bottom part of the economic, they're the people who are going to get our economic engine. They're the oil in the engine.
Yeah, because they don't have anything.
They're going to spend.
They're going to take that money and
Right.
they're going to run right over there and buy, throw that money right into Walmart.
Correct.
And it's going to go right back up to the corporations through that. They're going to buy gas from these gasoline, Shell, Chevron, these different places, AM/PM, and that money is going to go right back into the top of the corporation.
Correct. But that, unfortunately, that's the system that we have. That's the structure that we have.
Well, that's what I'm asking. How come it's not clear cut across the board for everybody? How come if you make over 99,000? I mean, $12,000 is not
$1,200.
or $1,200.
I don't know what the answer is for that.
So when you say that the Democrats and Republicans are turning us purple, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I don't think any of them folks are under 50 and have less than $1 million in their bank account. How does that affect them?
They don't get stimulus checks.
I ain't talking about getting stimulus checks. Are they doing this for the right reasons?
Some of them are doing it for the right reasons. Some of them are doing it out of they don't want to be shamed. And there are some people who resist. Like like the cat in the House of Representatives that wanted to call. He was trying to get them to do a roll call vote. So if he got that approved, that means that everybody. Now remember, we're in a shelter-in-place order right now. He would have had all 430 whatever representative people coming back to into a facility to cast a vote. So it's people, but he voted yes for it. But there's people such as that who they're not doing it for the right reason, and they're doing it because the bad, them not doing it, not being on board, outweigh them being on board. So they have to weigh, I just believe that there's been so many simple things that the House of Representatives and the Senate could have done, but it was based on their political parties that they stayed allegiance. The impeachment. Look at the impeachment. That was totally Democrats on one side, Republicans on another side.
All right.
So, I mean, this was not one of those instances, this stimulus bill. So, yes, I don't even know if I make the threshold or not. John's got truth, I don't know. But I don't believe that Darren Miller not getting a check, a $1,200 check, makes that process a bad thing. There are people also, let me think of the scenario. It's, so people who people who work in the under, I don't know what the right term is for, but they don't work in the legal capacities. They're not talking about drug dealers, no type of things, but people who clean homes, who work for cash, people who work for cash, who don't have to report those types of things, they're not going to get a stimulus check either.
Well, if they file income tax, they'll get one.
Correct. But most of those
and you don't have to have an income to file income tax.
Correct. But those folks want to stay off the grid. That's just the realm in which they work, cleaning houses, doing maid work.
Cash money.
Yeah, anything that you can do for cash. Cutting grasses, some of these lawn guys, and type of stuff.
Yeah.
They want to stay in the cash market because it doesn't have to report it. If they don't report it, though, they can't get a check. If they report it, then they run the risk of being audited, and now that causes a whole nother set of financial circumstances that they've got also. So, to answer your question, was passing the stimulus, does it fix everybody's issue? No. But is it good for our country? Yes. So one of the things I did like on the other side of it, what you said with the buyout part of it, is there were some corporations that were exempted from it or taken out of it. They can't use it to buy stocks, to do the whole stock game with them, which is what they did with Obama stimulus. They boosted up their stocks and stuff. They have to do this, use those monies inside of their business, employees, safety, all those type of things. So I like that part of it. It's $500 billion or $600 billion, whatever, it goes to the top part of it, and then the rest of it is in. So the other thing in there is that people who have small businesses, I want to say it's under X amount of employees, that type of stuff, they can get, actually it's a grant. They're calling it loans, small business loans, through the SBA, Small Business Administration. I want to say it's $10,000 that they can apply for, and they get it, and they don't have to pay it back. That's coming out of the stimulus monies as well. So there are some good things in there. Does it fix all? No, but no. I think it's enough.
But everybody ain't gonna make it to the mountaintop.
Correct. Agreed. But like you made a joke the other day talking about when the stock market crashed, who was affected most negatively by that? Those people there who was in the stock at Wall Street. People that was out in rural America, they wouldn't jump out of no building. They wouldn't hanging and killing themselves.
My joke might have been about the people laying, trying to catch some people to jump.
Wall Street is like what, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th Street? Isn't the lower number, single-digit streets? People that was up in 120th, which is in Harlem and stuff, they wouldn't jump out of no buildings up there. They was working. They was probably running through their head, what's my next hustle? How am I going to be able to sustain this as we go through this? And so I think we're kind of at the apex, at the crosshairs of that situation again, is that this economy stuff, with the way that our monetary system is set up, where it's not backed in gold anymore, it's just basically a paper economy. That stuff is going. The paper is going to come due at some point in time. I don't have any money in the stock market. The money that I got, that I can account for, the assets I can get, they tangible. There's and so I lost a house before, so I know how to get through those types of situations. And so anyway, I know that's a long answer to your simple question. So Kevin said you sound like you getting chapter 8. I don't know I guess that's what that means. Whatever chapter 8 is, whatever that is. Hey, Miss Mary, how are you?
It's a book.
Mary McPeters is on. She says hi.
Hi.
I don't know if you know Mary McPeters.
I don't.
You know her when you see it with the buoys. Hello, Mary. Yeah, it is us here. Oh, there's our resident treasury person. She put stimulus. Okay, that's too much information on there, Miss Net, for me to be reading on the screen. Thank you, though. Anyway, we're up against this. 2 minutes to the top of the hour. So
we got
4 minutes. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that down there. Okay, so Aaron.
Yo.
What's next on your agenda? School, graduation.
School, graduation, getting back to work, getting my daughter into high school.
God bless you.
I know, right? Transitioning my son into first grade, and so, yeah, just being a dad, being a man of the house and trying to take care of everything. And wife is, she's still working, so
she's gonna. They called her back. I
so she's
go back one day.
No, she's been working 2 days a week. So she's considered essential personnel through the casino. So
because she got all the money, she got the check. I shouldn't say all the money.
She deal with all the money.
She got the checkbook.
So we just
tell her I need a loan.
We ain't got it.
I ain't talking about that. I'm trying to talk about
it. Ain't going to jail to get it.
Yeah. But no, we just just using this time and trying to do more family-oriented stuff that we were unable to do before. Because me and my wife had totally opposite schedules. She come in from work, I'm going to work. So it's just a good time to sit back and relax and be with family and just enjoy each other.
Good. G. Miller?
Oh, being the best I could be every day. Appreciative that I have the wife that I have. Of course, no woman believes that they are cherished and worthy. But no, just enjoying my family, having issues come up, it's a stressful time for everybody. Luckily, like you said, you lost a house. Like my house was burnt. They crashed my car. They burnt my house down. They salted our land. We had to move. We had to do what we needed to do. So this is, for me, it's just another chapter that will pass, you know. And if we do what we're supposed to do, wash our hands from the hairline to the Nike sign and everything in between, you'll be all right. You know, wash your bedclothes. You know, don't let the dogs lick you in the mouth, and don't let them rats eat between your teeth.
Oh, that was...
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
That was not cool.
But, you know, it's every day is a new day. Every day is a new opportunity. Every day that you get up and breathe in is an opportunity for you to do something, to make a positive on the nation that we live in. You know, like they say, America is the best place to be. You know, hey. So that's about the size of it. I'm easy, like Sunday morning. And yourself?
I'm glad for the time off. You know, I've been off work for a while now, for a minute, because of all that stuff that was going on with my employer, Madera Unified, which is no longer be my employer next year, moving forward. Okay. But it was perfect timing for me to be in the situation I'm in right now, because it gives me an opportunity to think. Like I said, I go walking every day. It gives me an opportunity to, you know, make up on phone calls and call people back and have some conversations, able to think some things through. You know, my work, the stuff that I would normally be behind on, emails and stuff on the computer, I'm basically done with all that kind of stuff and caught up. Now I'm able to create and do some other things. I've been, one of the things, projects I'm working on is I'm writing articles for the Community Alliance. I don't even think I told you guys that.
You told me.
Unfortunately, I wrote an article that's supposed to be in the April edition about the absence of black male principals in the area, but they're not going to print the paper for this month. They're going to do some type of digital release of it, and so if I get it... Where
do we see that? Where do we find that?
I'll have to send it. Yeah, communityalliance.com, I think it is. Okay. I don't know what exactly the format is going to be.
That's the Central Neighborhood paper?
It's basically in the Tower District. Yeah. And so I'm going to be writing articles for them. I'm not supposed to do it every month. Yes, I'm sorry, FresnoAlliance.com. Okay. So FresnoAlliance.com is the Community Alliance, is the voice of the Fresno area. Oh, yeah, there is a Corona.
That shit is everywhere.
Coronavirus.
So yeah, there is an April edition of this, and I have to go through this to see if my article is in there. Maybe I can talk about it a little bit next week. But so I'm going to start doing some writing, try to put my EDD to use going forward. But that's it. Like I said, my blood pressure, I think since I've been able to walk and doing these push-ups and things, I think I'm pretty healthy. I feel great. So, you know, like I said, and I don't drink enough water, but...
I don't think anybody does.
Nobody does.
But anyway, so thank you all for tuning in with us. Again, this past Tuesday, this past week that came through. God willing, we will be here again next Tuesday, same time, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. here. Supermex International. Thanks, Rich, for the space. KP in the back.
Yeah.
Our resident technician.
Now it's the strength of 4.
And so we got, hopefully we'll get a chance, maybe we can get Michael when he gets around here, and Kylan if I could ever find him, we'll get in there and have a real Miller Boyz show. But anyway, so we're looking forward to seeing everybody next Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here on Supermex International. God willing, we'll see you guys then.
Love, peace.
In touch with the Miller Boyz Tuesday nights. We'll see you guys next week.
Appreciate it.